The following program is a paid presentation from Billboard Magazine and Rhino Records.
Hi, I'm Martha Quinn, one of the original VJs on MTV.
And I'm Davy Jones, one of the original monkeys.
No. We didn't start off very good, did we, Martha?
No, but it's going to pick up right here.
Let's tell them about the music.
There's never been a time of more change, more memorable images, and more unforgettable music than the 1960s.
Absolutely. It was a magical time that changed the whole world.
It's the time of the season. Oh, and I'm the type of guy who will never settle down. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night.
In fact, the music of the 60s started out sweet and innocent.
Oh, yes.
Don't want your love anymore. Say the last dance for me.
Johnny Angel, how I love him.
But the times were indeed changing, and the music changed with them. Or maybe the music was responsible for the change.
I don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. Wild thing, you make my heart sing.
The 60s gave us the twist.
Ah, I love the twist. Oh, yeah.
Come on, baby, let's do the twist.
Yeah, from twist to surf music to psychedelia, the rock and roll of the 60s had it all.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations.
A Broadway hit play, Hair, included a nude scene that gave us the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
And 4 young men were chosen out of thousands to star in a television series about a rock and roll band. Yes, here they come, walking down the street, getting the funniest
That
look
sounds
from
so
everyone they
familiar.
meet.
Now, why does that sound familiar to me?
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
Davy Jones, how did you get into the Monkees?
Oh, my goodness. It was an accident. No, there was an ad in the newspaper, and I
No.
answered the ad. Yes, I did. Would I lie to you?
I don't know.
I wouldn't, I'll tell you. It seems like yesterday, though, but that's the thing about the music from the 60s. It sounds just as great today.
It's incredible, and the 60s was such a decade of change. In the 60s, we went from hula hoops to hippies, from Mayberry RFD to the moon.
And nothing captures the excitement, fun, and drama of those years like Billboard's top rock and roll hits of the 60s.
In 1962, I had a song called Palisades Park. It was written by Chuck Barris, who had the Gong Show and a lot of game shows. The way I got the song was he was looking for Dion, so actually Dion really did me a big, great favor by not being there. We couldn't find him, and so I wound up singing this song. Chuck Barris was thrilled, and I had a smash, and hit Billboard at #3, and I was excited.
Billboard Magazine and Rhino Records proudly presents Billboard's top rock and roll hits of the 60s, the ultimate collection of music from one of the most important musical decades in our history. So stay tuned for a fantastic music offer from Rhino Records, including a free bonus CD just for ordering. Keep your credit card handy.
Hi, welcome back.
You know, Martha, 2 of the things that really attracted me to this project, apart from you, of course, are names that are literally right behind us. Billboard Magazine and Rhino Records.
You know, Rhino Records is the widely respected industry leader in the collection and preservation of popular music.
And as probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, tambourine player in the world, I can tell you that I check Billboard's Hot 100 list every week. Of course, I enjoy it most when I'm in it. Billboard has been the internationally recognized Bible of the music industry for almost 100 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Over 100 million people in more than 100 countries have access to the Billboard charts each week. As the saying goes, it's not a hit until it's a hit.
In Billboard.
Right.
Okay, The year was 1960. One of the Kennedy brothers, John F. Kennedy, beats Richard M. Nixon in the closest election of the century and becomes the youngest president in this country's history, while two other brothers, named Don and Phil, held the #1 position on Billboard's Hot 100 for 5 consecutive weeks with a great song they wrote called Kathy's Clown.
That's Kathy's Clown. All over America, folks were jumping for joy to the latest fad, the trampoline, and jumping out of their seats to the 1960 thriller Psycho. And a band calling themselves the Hollywood Argyles jumped to #1 position on the Billboard charts with a song based on a comic strip caveman, Alley-Oop.
Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs recorded this Billboard #1 hit. At the end of 1960, a new craze hit the dance scene when a former chicken plucker named Ernest Evans recorded one of Billboard's most successful singles ever. Davy, do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yes I do. Chubby Checker. 1961, yo-yos were the biggest fad, and in Passaic, New Jersey, 4 girls became the first female group to have a #1 Billboard hit with a tune from the hot songwriting team of Jerry Goffin and Carole King.
But will you love me tomorrow?
JFK creates the Peace Corps, and a former Drifters lead singer, Ben E. King, creates a classic that would grace the Billboard charts twice in his career.
Stand by me, oh, stand by me.
I can't help but picture a group of cool doo-wop singers combing their hair on a Bronx street corner whenever I hear a song from Dion and the Belmonts, especially this one, Dion's #1 Billboard smash, Run Around Sue.
Leave me with a broken heart. Listen, people, what I'm telling you. I'll keep away from a run around Sue.
1961 also brought us this timeless hit from the late, great Del Shannon, a cool falsetto vocal and one of the most classic rock and roll organ solos I ever heard, Runaway.
Run away, run, 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 run away.
In 1962, John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth, while back on the ground, the entire country was dancing to the music of Little Eva, a former babysitter for the songwriting team of Carole King and Jerry Goffin, who scored yet another smash Billboard hit with their irresistible song, The Locomotion.
And while a basketball player named Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in one basketball game, some of Billboard's top 100 artists in 1962 included Gene Chandler, who scored big with Duke of Earl.
Duke of Earl, Duke of Earl, Duke.
And although it was hard for Neil Sedaka to break up, it was easy for him to top the Billboard charts.
Down, down. Breaking up is hard to do.
In 1963, we heard a dream in Washington, D.C. While in California, a young man heard a sound in his head that no one else had ever heard before, and it came to be called surf music.
Surfing USA. We'll all be planning out a route.
Brian Wilson wrote, arranged, performed, and produced hit after hit during the 60s. But David, did you also know that Brian wrote and collaborated with other artists like Jan and Dean? Well, the summer of '63 was rocking to this classic Brian Wilson, Jan Berry anthem, Surf City.
The name's Bond, James Bond. Yes, 007's first film, Top to Know, was released in 1963. That same year, America discovered the pop top. And on top of Billboard's Hot 100 were pop hits by the Chiffons.
She's so fine. Wish she were mine.
Leslie Gore.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want to cry.
A band calling themselves the Kingsmen created a rock and roll party classic that still stands the test of time.
Tell me, Martha, do you know all the words to Louie Louie?
Of course, come on, Louie,
Go on, then.
Louie.
No, right.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
them
yeah.
either, and I don't think anybody does. And I'm hoping that from here we'll be able to catch all the lyrics. Now, let's just give it a go. Take it, guys.
Oh,
The 60s, what a time of change, what a time of great music. It seemed like every week there was a hot new sound. One magazine charted every hit, Billboard magazine. Well, now Billboard has teamed up with Rhino Records to put together the best 60s music collection ever. 10 years of hits packed into 10 CDs or cassettes. Just listen to what you'll get.
Come on, baby, let's do the twist.
My boyfriend's back and you're gonna be in trouble.